Good evening from Swansea, wrestling fans. I'm your host, Ben Allison, and you are watching Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, your one-stop shop for professional wrestling, insight, news, and reviews on a daily basis. We've got a fun show planned for you guys today. We're going to be talking about a bit of the news in professional wrestling across the professional wrestling industry, and also talking about tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. But I say it every day, and every day it is true. For a fun show, I need a fun panel, and I certainly have one today. Let's kick things off by introducing Soul. How are you today, Soul?
Very well, my friend, very well. It's been a busy weekend for me. I was working 2 shows, doing backstage interviews for them up here in Scotland. And I've also got another 2 shows to do this Saturday for an extreme hardcore Matt Cardona GCW type company, good old Bleeding Gums Wrestling, which I've done for a while. So I'm going to be very knackered. The suit might even get a bit red, so I might need a replacement. But nonetheless, let's get into the daily and have some fun with Mr. John Cena's biggest fan there in the corner.
Absolutely. It might be Clark's week off, but people still spoil the third panelist. How are you today, Chaos?
Oh, damn it. You guys can actually see me. Oh, great. This shirt clearly doesn't work. Anyway, fair enough. I'm gonna have to get a refund of this. Anyway, lovely to be here. It's Happy Wednesday, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to talking to you guys about news and everything else. And obviously I'm calmed down from my Bash in Berlin weekend / All In weekend. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to get into these topics. Let's get to it, shall we? Sorry, yeah. I'm really hungry.
It's fair enough, Chaos. But I mean, here's the main thing, buddy. You've got that lovely Bash in Berlin mini title behind you as well that you can check out on Chaos's little vlog, which I make 2 appearances in because I'm so awesome and get all the views. So that's where you want to see me. You can see me on the vlog, my arm and amazing voice, which I was not paid for.
All permission. All I heard was a sound, and then just someone's hands. So yeah, it's a bit. It's gonna. Pay
me my royalties.
Stand in court.
Pay me my royalties.
But talking about people who are getting paid, Omos is still actually getting paid by WWE, despite the fact that he barely ever shows up. And sorry, that makes it sound like it's a diss to Omos. It certainly isn't. He just isn't ever used in anything at all. Well, MVP sat down for an interview at K&S WrestleFest, and he was asked a couple of questions about this. And basically, I've actually got the exact quote pulled up, right? He said, and I quote, if you can't take a legitimate 7'3", 385 guy, if you can't make money with a 7'3", 385 former basketball player that can move, well, then you're just an idiot. So, I mean, he's making his thoughts known about how he feels about Triple H. That one is certainly for sure. But Chaos, I'm going to pass this to you first, right? Do you think WWE have booked Omos poorly, or do you think that perhaps some people are saying that maybe his talent just isn't up to what Triple H currently wants the product to be? That was the nicest way of putting it I could.
Have they been booking him correctly? No, because he's just not been booked at all. He is. I don't think he's even in catering. And yeah, obviously when he was around, he was VKM's guy. And he could have been an attraction, and that's what I think he was built up to be. And Vince is known to be about attractions. He likes to have that person that you could just send them out on the pay-per-view and just take a break from the technicals and the people that do the flippy do stuff. It's just an attraction, like how Undertaker was the attraction, how Lesnar is an attraction. But Triple H, as for what I can tell, he doesn't really do the attraction stuff. That's very old school, I'd say, to Triple H, and yeah, he just because of that he doesn't see where Omos fits. Now with MVP's comments saying, can he move? I don't know about that. I don't know if he can. I mean, is he better than? Do I find him more interesting than a prime Great Khali? Yes, but do I find him more interesting than a prime Big Show when Big Show was in his prime? Not necessarily. I felt like, Big Show had more meaningful rivalries and was more intimidating than Omos in his prime, I'm saying. And yeah, I never saw Omos in that light in the way Vince did. I still don't see it. And yeah, I know that Triple H tried to give him a chance, and we saw him face Lesnar last year. It was a nothing match. Didn't amount to anything, didn't help anybody. And yeah, the proof is in the pudding right there. So currently in this current climate, I don't see where he would fit. And he's just collecting a paycheck, and fair enough. Make your money, bro. Fair enough. But yeah, I don't see what MVP is moaning about, because he fit well in Vince's regime. In this current regime, he's just S out of luck. Let's just say that. So let's see where it goes. But yeah, I don't agree with MVP's comments, because like there's way more people that's more agile, and hell, even Satnam Singh is more interesting than Omos. I'll put it out right there right now. And I hate Satnam Singh.
Whoa.
So I'm just calling a spade, bro. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Omos is a nice guy. Fair enough. Off camera, he's a nice guy. He's very lovable and whatnot. But yeah, anytime I saw him on TV, I always roll my eyes. And yeah, that's proof of the pudding. So sorry, MVP, you gotta take an L on this one. Don't agree with you.
Come on, Chaos. Satnam Singh's a champion. He's one half of the AAA Tag Team Champions with Raj Desi. You can't disrespect that man.
Oh wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Really
I'll die on that hill.
But in all seriousness, though, Chaos, it was interesting what you were saying about the attraction stuff, because according to MVP, it was actually kind of the opposite. Apparently, Vince McMahon wanted to make Omos essentially the Big Show of the new era, where he'd be on TV every week and everything. Meanwhile, Triple H views him as an attraction and somebody who should only come out for a few pay-per-views a year. But look
how well that went.
It didn't go well.
It didn't go well at all. So I don't believe I don't believe MVP that like he was clearly someone that is meant to be the big tree that the underdog needs to try and chop down kind of thing, and that's how you use an attraction. That's how Vince used them. But yeah, it just doesn't really fit. Maybe if he was able to move a bit more, he was more agile, he could possibly have been a worthy opponent for like Cody down the line, something like that. But yeah, it just was not interesting to me. He was just a guy that shouts a lot and just did 1D moves. It was just very, very one-dimensional. But yeah, that's just me.
The thing is, though, right, and I said this before and people laugh, but it's true. I wish that the karate kicks that he used to do when he was the ninja back in the days of the WWE PC, people forget that he did that.
I didn't even know that. That's news to me, bro.
He was the ninja. He was the huge ninja. In the
Akira Tozawa took that gimmick.
And the ninjas.
Yeah. Tozawa took that gimmick. That was it. That's why.
No, it was his gimmick. The big ninja who came out to help him. It was Omos.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Kicks.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember now.
Why wasn't he doing big kicks in his moveset, right? If he was suddenly doing a choke slam, next minute he was doing a karate kick, people might be a little bit more interested, right? I just think he was given a rubbish moveset, so I don't even think he had the chance to show what he could do. But Soul, what are your thoughts on this?
Allison, Chaos, do you guys want to play a little game? A little fun game here. I want to propose a question, a little game of this. Can you guys guess when Omos was last on WWE television? I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Make your minds up. Think of some things. Anyone go and answer.
2023.
It was a random episode of Raw.
Both of you are completely wrong. It was the SmackDown before WrestleMania 40, the Andre the Battle Memorial Royale. That was when he was last on TV. Last pay-per-view, he was out with the Rumble. Besides that, he's wrestled 33 matches, and all of them, besides those 2, were house show circuit matches. It's clear that Triple H doesn't want to use Omos, and I think it's kind of fair. Like, you have Cody, you have Bloodline, you have Judgment Day, you have Rhea, you have Punk, you have McIntyre, you have so many other things going on, where can you really fit that in? Like, you've got New Day and New Testament, which seems to be gone now, and they're doing something else. There's just no place. Could you send him to NXT? Absolutely. Maybe he could do something there that will actually get him into a new position with the fans. Maybe him and Obafemi could be a really surprising match for people's minds. But at the end of the day, it's what you bring to the company, and what Omos brings to the company is obviously his size and essentially being a powerhouse. But obviously with MVP not being there, who was essentially his backup, his manager, adversary, where does that really leave Omos? Now, I think if you were going to do anything with Omos, why not just put him in WWE Speed? I say this for everybody because it's Speed. It's literally just WWE dumping ground. Like, yeah, what can we do for you? Stick you on Twitter for a 3-minute match that gets the crowd hot. Like think about it though. Like as I said, Logan Paul should be on it for the internet connections he has. Omos, if he just did like a big boot, wins a match, and has the Speed Championship, and literally that's his thing. He big boots, big boots, big boots. And you could, I don't know, build a storyline in WWE Speed that somebody eventually evades the big boot and is able to do like a drop kick and knocks them down. Still, match ends in a draw, but you could build that, and build the belt. If anything, with Omos and WWE, I feel like it is kind of writing on the wall in the saddest way, because I do think Omos, as a human being, is amazing. Like, his fans are the Homo sapiens. He loves anime. He did that amazing little panel at the VIP pass on WrestleMania 39, which everybody really liked. Omos is an absolute lovable guy. And he's also 30. He's got the whole rest of his, career ahead. He's essentially kind of heading into the prime age, but he's only 30. If he doesn't work out in WWE, GCW will snap him up in a heartbeat. Independence will snap him up. He could do really great things. He could essentially do what Cardona and Raj Desi are doing, is, yes, you weren't viewed in a positive position within the company, and then, you know what? Go do something on independence and have a good time. Am I just leading the charge?
No, Allison,
Allison, you've been muted for your AEW rhetoric. You need to focus more positively on Tony Khan. Because you have been denied that opportunity, I will now host the daily.
Yes, please, let's hijack it. Let's go. Host the table.
Hijack.
Oh, he's panicking. Oh, God, he is sweating.
Chaos. It's time for Taking to the Table Daily Edition. You ready, boy?
Right.
You ready?
Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chaos, and I'm here with the host of Soul Sessions right here. How you doing today, sir?
Oh, very well indeed. We're here for the Wrestling Public Taking to the Table Daily broadcast. As always, we're just on our little segment on WWE Booking of Omos. I see our supervisor, our superior, the main honcho himself, is a bit deceased right now.
Oh, wait. Oh, damn.
Oh, I actually was just muted. But testing. Oh my gosh. Wait, guys, so I've been muted for this entire podcast. And it was just coming through my computer, I found out. But
you still sounded good. I couldn't tell.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good at least. But you guys can now hear me. But so I do agree with your thoughts on Omos. Just do something with him. Maybe put him on WWE Speed. See what happens there. I personally prefer. I can't remember whose idea it was the other day, but somebody on this show said that basically WWE Speed should have a special episode in a few weeks' time where Giovanni Vinci is on it, and everybody has 3 seconds to see if they can pin him, and it goes on for 3 minutes, and let's see how many people can pin him. It would be a boatload of fun, but that is the best.
The ultimate burial, goodness sake.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably still more interesting than half of what's on that show. But guys, now let's move on to the next topic, because MVP isn't the only one who's been talking recently, because so has Bianca Belair. She did an interview on the Masked Man show this week, and she was asked about a potential Montez Ford singles run, to which she has replied that she would love to see it happen, and she thinks that he is ready for it, and it's not a when, it's not an if, it is a when it will happen. Chaos, I want to get your thoughts on this, right? Because it feels like for so long we've been going on about this Montez Ford singles run. I remember we talked about it on this show about 18 months ago, but absolutely nothing has come from it since. So I'd love to get your perspective on this one.
What can I say? It's long overdue. It just feels like I think he's probably the only person that I've seen that they are afraid to pull the trigger on. And I don't know why. The guy is charismatic. He's made for TV. He's athletic, knows how to carry himself on camera. Like you see him on the red carpet. Is the show Mr. and Mrs. Not Miss, not Mrs. and Mrs. But the show that he's got with Bianca.
Bianca Montez.
There you go. Simply put, there you go. Yeah. So and the show was great. Great reviews, all that stuff. And he could be he can easily be a mainstream star. Alongside Swerve, alongside Cody, who's like the face of WWE. I don't see why didn't they afraid to pull the trigger. They had little glimpses. He was in the Elimination Chamber for the United States Championship, if I'm not mistaken. There was one time where it seemed like they were teasing a split with teaming a split with Dawkins, and then they just never they never followed through with it. I don't know why. I think like you can definitely do a singles run without them splitting. They could do something similar to what they did with the New Day, but do it better. And I'm not saying he should win the WWE Championship, but he definitely deserves at least a mid-card title, at least, instead of being just hankered down with Dawkins. And I'm not saying that Dawkins is rubbish. I mean, he's someone that is definitely improved leaps and bounds compared to when he first started. But yeah, I feel like they could definitely take a break from the Street Profits thing and then just test the waters. Build some likely contenders for LA Knight, for the United States Championship. Or even I would love to see him against Braun Breaker as well. That would be absolutely fire. But yeah, I just don't see what I would love to know what is the conversation about Montez Ford and why they're afraid to pull the trigger on him, because he's the full package, man. I don't get it, and it's really frustrating. I don't want to bring it down to politics. I don't want to, or something else a bit more seedier than that. But yeah, it's a weird thing, and it's really, really frustrating. I hope they really actually just test the waters at least and see where it goes, because I think he could definitely take the ball and then take it to the end zone. So yeah, that's my gripe with that. He definitely deserves a singles run.
I 1000% agree with you. I mean, it's not every day that you see an athlete of that caliber with that much charisma and just talent and just in-ring work as well. I mean, he is the total package. There is zero reason why he can't be a WWE champion in a few years. And you guys always know that I go on about the age thing, right? But like, now is the time. Like, if you do it now, if you split them up now, he can have, good singles career for like at least a decade. Why not do it?
Yeah, let's say they're really just seeing if he can. They're testing him to see if he might lose faith or just kind of phone it in. Because I remember that's what Ricochet said. Like he doesn't blame WWE for what happened. He just he takes ownership of that. He didn't really grab the imaginary brass ring or anything like that. And maybe he's just trying to see if that's going to happen with Montez. But the guy brings in 110% every time he does run-ins and stuff. He's just hilarious. You never get bored of him when he's on the mic. I don't know. Maybe they're just testing his resolve. I don't know what it is, but they need to pull the trigger. And now is the time.
I'll quickly say I honestly think it's because the tag team division is so thin that they really need people just to stick in it.
Yeah, but good point.
That as well, but they're not doing anything with the tag team division either. So it's just like, well, like it's in tatters right now.
But you never know. Well. You never know. They might need it for that one dark match in Michigan when it's a cold, rainy night. It's like, yeah, we need to put on something. Go Street Profits and.
I mean, they were the warm up match. It was when it was SmackDown. It was A-Town Down Under against Street Profits, and that was before SmackDown. So. But still, that's
well, there
bad.
we are. There we are. That's the scoop. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, he can do it in LA. He can do it at WrestleMania. But can he do it on a cold, rainy night in Michigan? That is the question. But DCX Warlord is saying that he needs Angelo to be a face and to break up the Street Profits, and that he should have won that Elimination Chamber match. I mean, I don't know if I would have said that he should have won it, but he certainly should have had a
I think
chance
he should have been one of the last ones. 100%. Should have been the last ones. That would have been like, what if? Yeah.
They had Montez win the Royal Rumble in My Rise in WWE 2K24. Spoiler alert, I haven't played the career mode yet. And
Me neither.
Otis deserves a World
Yeah.
Championship match against Gunther or Sammy. I'd actually love to see both of those. Otis, now Gunther. Give me a bit of that, please. I would absolutely love it. That is for sure. But now let's move on to the next topic, shall we? Because, well, actually, before we do, right, I'm getting a bit carried away because I am so excited. And why am I so excited? I'm so excited because of our good friends over at Next Level. Now, if you guys don't know what Next Level is, let me talk to you. Basically, they've taken all our social media links from across all our platforms and put them in one simple place. And that one simple place is nxconnect.me/Wrestling Republic to see all our content across all platforms linked all in one place. Plus, if you click that link right now and go down to the bottom, it'll explain to you how you could win a Next Level Championship belt. All you need to do is click that link. It is completely and utterly free. You have nothing to lose, so you might as well do it. But now, moving on to the next topic, let's talk a little bit about NXT NA or AEW TNA. Because last night's NXT, I was watching it, right? And it was fascinating. Almost every week it's a fascinating watch, NXT, but last week, even more than most weeks, it was a fascinating watch. And the reason for that was 1 minute you had Obafemi doing an open challenge or whatever, it was Tony D picking his opponent, Alex Hammerstone coming down, and Alex Hammerstone, he did get some offense in, but pretty much squashed against Obafemi. And then, just like literally a segment later, you had Jordan Grace defeating how do you say it? Sol Ruka? I can't even. Sorry,
Yep, Sol Ruka.
It's just mental. It's absolutely mental, right? I think this partnership has been very fair so far. I think, like, for example, last night, both people got beat. One from TNA, one from NXT. I think it's been very mutually beneficial, but I just think it's crazy. I never, ever, ever thought something like this could happen, and I still do think that it benefits TNA a lot more than it does benefit NXT, even with NXT getting some of the bigger names. But Soul, I know we've spoken at length in the past about the NXT and AEW partnership and how back then I wasn't a fan of it. I want to get your thoughts on this situation. Are you team NXT or do you think the AEW TNA partnership was just as good, if not better?
So here's the thing. You can't compare these two relationships at all because they are vastly, vastly different. Look at AEW and TNA. It happened in 2020 when the world was pretty much shut down. It went into 2021 where things were still very uneasy. Traveling was very limited. You had to obviously quarantine and a lot of different things were happening. Kenny Omega was obviously the champion, but obviously Scott D'Amore revealed in interviews that Kenny was more banged up than people realized. And people need to understand, obviously, Kenny, yes, he has a responsibility as the TNA world champion, but he has more of a priority to the AEW world championship and AEW where he is a contracted wrestler and works. Obviously, we found the storyline there was for him and Hangman. You got to get that more precedent. Obviously, TK obviously wasn't one who put on the belt on Kenny. It was obviously Anthem and Scott's or whoever was creative at that time's decision to put the belt on Kenny Omega. Now, obviously, Scott also revealed that Impact Wrestling at the time did some of its highest buy rates when Kenny Omega was champion. And they even flew out TNA talent to AEW in Jacksonville to record the main event for an Impact Wrestling pay-per-view. I believe it was Rich Swann. As well, they also ended their big championship moment where Moxley was defeated with Tom Cass, and literally the end of that show, which I believe it was just a show. I don't think it was a pay-per-view event because it was Winter is Coming. Literally ended with saying, "Watch Impact Wrestling on Access TV on this day." Like, they ended their big show, the big title win, with an ad-in for Impact. Like, I remember when I first, that's pretty much how I learned about Impact. Besides that, I only knew about it because I think at the time, Miro had left, the Iconics, the Inspirations had left, and more people had left WWE in a massive layoff. And Slammiversary was being teased as like a surprise situation. That's how I learned about it. So, yeah, we've got more obviously saying that, yeah, they did a high buy rate and they've had some positivities with the relationship. And he looks back on it fondly. Like, even Christian Cage, he defeated the Kenny Omega on the first ever edition of Rampage to win the title. Scott D'Amore was there presenting the ring. And Christian endedly retired the classic TNA belt to carry on the Impact World title, to then drop it to Josh Alexander, which led into the Moose storyline. So it canonically goes along with Kenny Omega's belt collector to Christian Cage to Josh Alexander to Moose to continue where we are now, which Josh Alexander would end up becoming the longest reigning Impact World Champion or TNA World Champion, obviously ending due to injury. So you can't compare them two because they exist in completely two different eras of wrestling and even the world in itself. Now, NXT TNA, quickly on that, it's fascinating and it's absolutely amazing. Imagine we said a year ago, hey, TNA and NXT are going to have a partnership. You're going to see TNA talent beat WWE talent. You're going to see WWE talent beat TNA talent. And you're going to see some people get over in the best way they can. Like Jordan Grace, Joe Hendry, Rosemary, and Josh Alexander all getting that opportunity. Wendy Chu is going to be on an TNA pay-per-view against Jordan Grace going for her title. Fascinating in itself. I think we've all got more crossovers going up. It is truly beneficial for wrestling and wrestling fans. The only thing is, it's like you need to always remember, right now it's beneficial. But in a year's time, when Joe Hendry, Jordan Grace, the Rascals, even Hammerstone, when their contracts come up, how's things going to feel when they maybe go to WWE because they offer them more money or they really like it there and they're like, you know, we've done good things here, we're going to move on there. And obviously people have left TNA since this. Obviously Scott D'Amore, Giselle Shaw, yes, they need to build up. Like they've hired Heather Reckless, so they're hiring. And I think when we look in this in a year time, will we look back on this as the crazy booking, like, oh, we're going to book all this fun things, all these dream matches, and then we will look back and like, oh, this was just the calm before the storm, before TNA got pillaged and swept away as all their talent went to NXT. Also, as well, this is just NXT TNA. It's not really WWE TNA. You're not going to see Gunther show up. You're not going to see Punk. You're not going to see AJ Styles. You're not going to see Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch. They're keeping it exclusively to NXT. So is that what WWE higher ups view TNA as, on the same level as an NXT? Maybe. But hey, can't complain the results. Fans are loving it. Wrestlers are getting paid, getting over, and getting exposed to a bigger audience. So it is a beneficial partnership at this point.
Yeah, it is kind of one of those moments, like you said. We've got to wait until a lot of these guys' contracts are up, because Jordan Grace, I mean, I could see her jumping. That's what I could certainly see leaving there. But at the same time, I think we kind of do have to look at companies the UFC have partnershipped with in the past too, because they've done very similar things where they've partnered with smaller promotions, and then over time, people have left, people have left the smaller ones, gone to UFC. But UFC still kind of helps the smaller promotions with their like doing promoting for them and all of that. So perhaps, WWE long term wants to have TNA on the network or Netflix, wherever it is, and basically own their content.
That is amazing exposure if that's the case.
That absolutely could happen, and obviously TNA have their own subscription service that people pay a lot of money to. So if that was to happen, maybe in a year's time,
who runs that?
I don't know. I'm not that knowledgeable.
I'll tell you who runs that. Endeavor Group Holdings.
All right, cool then.
That's also own WWE.
So it is absolutely beneficial, but I will obviously say as well, look at other companies that we've seen join the WWE network or the WWE family in the past. ICW, Evolve, Progress, and they could easily just get kicked to the curb, as we've seen. And look at some of those companies. Progress, done very well. They're still very loved, obviously, and they're doing great things, obviously, with the device stuff. Evolve, dead. ICW, life support. So, like, sometimes joining the big conglomeration and getting the cool partnerships is great at the moment, but when does your brand could just essentially be dumped to the curb whenever it doesn't fit the whole machine. So very much wait and see. Yes, right now it's honeymoon period, but in a year's time, where are we going to see this partnership go? Will it actually become WWE and TNA, or is it always going to stick to NXT and TNA, or will TNA just be left like the bride of the altar?
I mean, that's the WWE do love to monopolize. so I totally get everyone. Wait and see thing. I would love to see, just quickly chip in. Like, I don't think we won't ever see, Gunther showing up or anything. Maybe no one knowing that big, but probably more bigger mid carders. I would love to see, maybe like Street Profit showing up in TNA or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I think it definitely is a wait and see because yeah, like you said, so WWE love to swallow up different companies like it's like an infinity gauntlet, and yeah, then they just stay by the word curbside. But TNA do have a record of surviving somehow, so you just never know.
They are hard to kill, pun
They are hard to
intended.
kill. They're cockroaches.
But no, I mean, I do agree with you. I'm going to be honest. I really thought AJ Styles was going to go to TNA when he left for a little while. And he's still on his break now. I thought he was destined to return to TNA for a couple of matches. Obviously, hasn't happened. But I still would have really liked to see that. But now, guys, it is time for the AEW Dynamite preview. It's Soul's favorite time of the week. And
It's on
let
tomorrow?
me
It's on
run-
tonight? God damn, my bad.
Screw you, Steve, man. Give me my royalties.
Tonight, it's going to be Ricochet versus Sammy Guevara. We're also going to have for the AEW TNT Championship, Jack Perry defending against Leo Rush. For the AEW Women's World Championship in an eliminator match, we are going to have Mariah May versus Queen Amanita. Jon Moxley will be appearing live following turning heel on Bryan Danielson along with Claudio Castagnoli and Pac at AEW All Out. And also, we're going to have a little bit of fun because there's a tag team casino gauntlet match scheduled as well. A stacked show coming out of an absolutely stacked All Out pay-per-view, which I enjoyed very much. But Soul, I want to get your thoughts on this card first. Firstly, what do you think of the card? Secondly, what are you most excited for?
Cards, all right. It's decent in itself. The only thing I'm not a big fan of is the eliminator status for Queen Aminata versus Mariah May. Obviously, we saw Nyla Rose get a championship opportunity. I really am not. I'm not really a big fan of eliminator stuff. See if it was eliminator for another company's title. I actually wouldn't mind that because it seems like you have to get in the good books of the other company and show your status on AEW programming to get a shot of that. If it was like that, I wouldn't mind it. But it's AEW titles, and I personally don't really care for the eliminator stuff. I'd rather it would just be a championship opportunity so I could look at somebody's title reign and be like, oh, they defended this a lot. That's cool. I like that in champions for me. Two things I'm so hyped for on this is the Casino Tag Team Gauntlet, which obviously determines the Young Bucks opponents for Grand Slam in New York? Is it New York? Grand Slam's in New York, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. New York. Yeah.
It's next year, then in Australia.
Yeah, Australia. Woo, crikey, that's going to be fun. The team I would like to win it. See, I was kind of like, oh, it should be a Top Flight or it should be Private Party. Nah, give me the Outrunners. Give me the 80 Boys. Give me the Retro guys. Give me the Young Stallions of AEW's tag team division. Them against the Young Bucks. That's going to print money. Everybody loves the Outrunners. But in all seriousness, the Outrunners, the 80 guys, the fun guys, the amazing guys. Do you not watch Rampage or Collision Chaos?
Oh, I've got things to do. Sorry.
You foolish mortal. But yeah, main thing is Moxley. What is Moxley going to say? He chokes out Bryan Danielson with a plastic bag to an eco guy. That's like sacrilege. But I just want to hear him. What's he going to say? And I feel like this is going to be just so fun because you've got Mox, you've got Claudio, you've got Pac, you've got Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta. And it's still the BCC. You know, it said on Instagram that it's Moxley and the BCC will be there. So the group's going to be there. I would love for it if Wheeler Yuta is just emotionally damaged. Like he's just got the 1,000-yard stare and he's just like, Pac gives him his trios title and just drops and he has to carry both of them. And Wheeler Yuta is just like a whipping boy. Comes down to the ring, he's like, yeah, he's the trios champion, but he's like dead inside because he just saw his mentor like literally murdered on pay-per-view. But with Moxley, I would love it if he just basically people have said, oh, this is gonna be Shane McMahon because I looked at the photo. I honestly wouldn't really care for Shane McMahon. Like I kind of would like it if just Mox takes it upon himself. Like he essentially is the soul of AEW. Like he he put the company on his back. He's the first ever. He's the only 3-time AEW World Champion, rightfully deserved. He essentially is AEW. I wouldn't be opposed if Moxley thinks that this is his company. He's put on his back. He's bled. He's broken bones. He's not had a vacation in 20 years because he's had to step up and be there for AEW. Why not make it Mox's company out of right and ascension, because he's basically ascended and done what he has to do to keep the company alive when some punks have to go and throw around the fit. So, I mean, let Moxley just be like, this is mine. I'm going to act like it. I'm going to put on the big boy pants. I've stepped up. I might as well step up on the throne and run this place.
I very well could see that argument, and I think that's probably what they're going to try and do with the storyline. It's going to be interesting for sure, and I really, really don't think, because this time last week, actually, exactly, Chaos, we had a conversation on this show about the potential of Shane McMahon in AEW. I don't think he has any involvement with this anymore, right? That pay-per-view completely killed that theory as far as I'm concerned. If he does show up, I think it's something unrelated. But a great point, Soul, and I'm really excited for that segment as well to see what Jon Moxley wants to say. But Chaos, I want to get your thoughts next. What are you most excited for, and what are your thoughts on the card in general?
Yeah, I mean, this episode that we're going to see, from what has been announced, this is what I tend to call a Naruto episode filler, like a filler Naruto episode.
Really?
Yeah, there's there's nothing really exciting. The only thing really out of it all I'm looking forward to is just what Jon Moxley has to say regarding this. And I agree. Like, I don't think this is anything. What happened on the pay-per-view Shane McMahon has got nothing to do with this. And like I said, like when we talked about it, I said it just doesn't make any sense. What correlation? And people were trying to go deep. I think even you as well, Ben, was trying to go deep in they're going to try and carry over some shit that happened in WWE into this, and they have some weird association. I was just like, nah. So I think Shane McMahon has got nothing to be involved in this. I feel like they also need to rename themselves. I feel like now that Danielson's out, I think they've kicked out enough people, meaningful people out of BCC, and then just I think they just need to rename themselves, especially after they tried to commit. There was an attempted murder, and the Oscar-winning acting from Wheeler Yuta trying to, it was just really weird. Anyway, so yeah, definitely what Jon Moxley has to say. Jack Perry versus Leo Rush. It's written in the stars what's going to happen in that one. And the Mariah May versus Queen Amada, I'm with Soul as well. I hate eliminator matches. I hate them just as much as whatever you call them, the non-title or number one, whatever they used to call it in WWE at one point. And Sammy Guevara, look, I guess he's allowed back on Dynamite now. But him against Ricochet should be fun. And I feel like this Casino Gauntlet match thing, I feel like they just running that into the ground. It was fun when we saw it All In, and now you're just using the same stick, just a few weeks or a couple weeks after, and it's just like you're kind of overusing it. But yeah, definitely Jon Moxley. And if I really had to choose a match, I guess Guevara versus Ricochet, because I love Ricochet and he deserves more. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But yeah, overall, it's a Naruto filler episode. Sorry, guys.
Come on, man. At least Boruto levels. Come on.
Boruto, oh god.
This ain't Shippuden. That thing sucks. Please give it some.
Shippuden is the elite one. No, Shippuden is nice, but
it's overrated. Come on.
Gosh, I don't even know what you guys are on about at this point. But what I do know about is Chaos. I agree with you on the Gauntlet match, right? I don't understand why they're doing another one. Not another one. Just a couple of weeks after, what was a really, really fun one. You did it. Don't overuse it. Otherwise, it's overkill.
Exactly.
Hey, let's go crazy. Motor City Machine Guns are going to debut tonight. If I win, Chaos gives me my royalties.
Wow.
Yeah. Wait, where are they hosting this one tonight? Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, they ain't showing up, bro.
No. Silence.
They ain't showing up.
But on that note, guys, that does bring us to the end of the show. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and like down below. Subscribe on whatever platform you are on. And we will be back same place, same time tomorrow to talk a little bit of AEW Dynamite. Thank you to Saul for joining me today, and thank you to Chaos as well. It's been a pleasure, guys, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.